Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Thursday. It's September 27th. This will be our chart lesson for today, and this is going to wrap up our week. No chart lessons on Fridays, so if you're looking for one on Friday, I usually take that day off, and we're only doing them Monday through Thursday. So nice trading day today. It was all uphill for the most part. After about lunchtime, we sold off, and there was a nice trade in there as well. But most of the trading today was early and all uphill. So let's back out a little bit. We'll go through these trades. And when you get a trend like this, just stay with the upside. And this is when it gets kind of tricky up here. Once you've had your close outside the trend line, a convincing close, and that's a very convincing close outside that trend line. Once you have that and you make a new high, you got to be careful going long again, but you don't want to get short too early either. So there's not really a good short opportunity until you get your failed second entry long right here. So, and that's what happens to people. They get impatient, they try to buy, and you got to be careful. Once you've got this close outside, this convincing close and a move to a new high, you got to be careful. Even though you probably could have gotten long a couple times here and maybe got it to work, it's not worth risking. So just remember that, because that's where most people lose. They start trying to pick tops all the way up, and if instead they just bought and went with a trend on the pullback, they'd have probably done fairly well. So just keep that in mind. But let's talk about the trades and we'll wrap it up for the week. When I came in, really we had this trend line right here, but it hadn't been confirmed. So really we were just kind of looking at this shorter term one, this moving up through here. And you might have even looked at it like so, like this. You come to the same conclusion regardless. This is your first break, and so it didn't matter how you had that drawn. You could have looked at it either way, but the uptrend really started right here, so that's the one I used. But notice that you got a new low here, and you get a first entry. You move up, you get a second entry. So there's a second entry short right there. It doesn't really become a failure until it breaks higher right there. And even though I moved this upper trend channel line down later on, early on you probably would have had it up here. And it may be up there, but later on it just was fitting better down here, so I moved it down. And regardless, I like going long right there because of that failure. There are quite a few matching highs there, but this is also a breakout pullback long. But when you try to go short that many times and then get a nice bullish bar right off I don't have it on there, but you can see there's some support right across there. And so that's a pretty good setup right there. I like going long right there. And quick, easy move. Then you come back and you get a little two legs, and there's really a new low there. So again, you get first entry, a second entry. It's almost kind of a repeat, but it doesn't become a failed second entry long until it breaks higher here. And you got a real small bar. I think there's 3 ticks in that bar. It's right at the key entry point. So I like going long right there. And this one takes off. You would have had a nice runner here. You probably would have got a runner on most of these. But notice you got a new low again, and you're moving up. It's just kind of a repeat pattern over and over here. You move up, you get a first entry, you get a second entry, but again, it doesn't fail until it breaks above that bar right there, and you get it breaks with this real nice bullish bar. So when it comes back again and bounces off that EMA trend line, I like going long again because this is a strong key entry point up through here, and off it goes again. And again, either one of those probably would have caught you a runner. And then we reach the upper side. We're just kind of working sideways, but you get a double test here. Notice you made that low. You tested it once, you tested it twice, and this one kind of ticked lower here and then made a higher low and bounced right off that support area, fairly bullish bar. I like going long there. It's not quite back to the EMA or the trend line, but on that double test on a strong trend day, you probably want to take that one. We did push up and come back and get a little breakout pullback long, and this is a new low, so it's a first entry, so that's a failed second entry short. You're going long right at the high. You're not really at right back to the key entry point, but it's still, it's. I still think you got to mark that one green. And if you take it again, you probably get a runner and you get to ride that one on up. And you actually get a failed second entry short right there, but I'm not going to take that one after that move up, and we've been away from the EMA a little while. It does come back to the trend line key entry point here, and it would have been a good trade, but I don't think you want to risk that one either. I think you want to wait and just see if if it doesn't pull back and give you another entry. And then you pull. Notice you make that new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry, so you get a second entry long right there. That is the first. That's the first second entry you've had in a while, and you've also got. I don't have it on here. Let me get it on here. You got that support running across there. Earlier, at that point, I would have had it right here. But then later, I would have moved it down these closes. So anyway, there's a second entry long right there, and that's the first close outside that trend line is what I was trying to get at a minute ago. That's the first close outside the trend line on the second entry. So we're probably going to retest that high and make a new high. And it doesn't take off like you thought it was, but it comes back and it gives you a one test, a two test. So now you got a double test and another fairly bullish bar. I'd go long there. If I wasn't already in, I would get in, and I might consider adding on there. There's a little bit of sideways action there, but this has been a strong trend, and look how many times we've tested those lows across there, and you've got a couple of double test. Actually, you get a double test right here. You got that low, you test it once, you test it twice, but it didn't trigger until it broke above this one, so really you tested it yet again. So I like going long there, and off it goes. And like I said, the rest of this, you just kind of had to be careful. There is a double bottom here and a failed second entry short, but we've already got that high in place, so I'm not going to risk that one, especially already closed out, because it may push up a couple of ticks like the right here and turn down. It didn't, but there's too big a chance of that. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You got to be patient here, and you got to be careful getting long anymore. If you got a really good setup, by all means take it to the long side, but don't be taking any shorts until this thing proves it's going in the other direction. And it looks like it's probably going in the other direction right here, but that bar is not bearish enough, and you can see there's another one. Bearish bar, but notice how it bounces back. So just kind of sit tight and see if you get a failed second entry long, which comes right there. That also really confirms your trend line coming down. Just go short right there. I would actually put my sell stop one tick below this bar, but your safety stop still has to go above the high of the swing, so it goes above this bar up here. And you could have ridden that one on down as well, and ridden that one. It's a nice move back down for the most part. So, and that got us into the 2 o'clock hour. So it was a pretty good trading day. These were all relatively straightforward, just following the rules basically on an uptrend and not trying to sell. If you struggled today, you were probably trying to sell, and you don't sell a trend like this, because that's where most people mess up and where most people lose money. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm leaving early today. Today is my son's birthday, and we're going out to dinner, so I'm not going to hang around or beat around the bush. I'm going to wrap it up and wrap this week up. We'll be back again to do it on Monday, but I'm done for today. I'm done for this week. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.